Hey everybody, and to my friends in Thailand, Sawadee Kap, Sabaydi Mai Kap. Hey, let me get right into it, so no need to skip. Everyone knows that's an American, whether you live overseas as an expat, whether you're a semi-expat going back and forth, whether you're an American traveling overseas on a vacation, Medicare does not cover us. It's an incredible ripoff. We've paid into it, but we don't get a benefit overseas at all. The only exception is if you're in a handful of countries that are basically territories to the United States. I almost accidentally found out about kind of a loophole to that, and I want to share it with you. I literally got my hospitalization in Chiang Mai, Thailand, completely covered, all through Medicare from Thailand. I want to tell you all about it right now. Normally my videos are just for people in Thailand or coming to Thailand. This video is one of the few that really has interest to anyone around the world that's an American and travels or is living overseas. Can I start with just a little summary of Medicare, and I'll try and make it very quick. We all know that there's type A, which is hospitalization. That's completely covered normally, and it's free for most Americans. And then there's type B. Type B is for doctors, laboratory, diagnostics, things like that. And for that, there is a fee. If your income for 2023 was under $93,000, then the amount that you owe for type B is $165. For 2024, it's going to be $175 if you make under $103,000. So what's frustrating as Americans is we not only don't get Medicare coverage, even for emergencies out of the United States, but what's doubly frustrating and doubly unfair is if we want to keep our Medicare, we have to pay that Plan B. So even if we're not using it being overseas, we still pay that $165 whatever dollars a month. Now, you can choose to opt out of Medicare and not pay it, but then if you ever get back on it, you pay a 10% penalty for every year that you were not paying it for the rest of your life every month. So it can become quite expensive. And there's also type D, which covers drug and pharmacy. Those are the biggies. Now, there's also type C, which is really the key to what I want to talk about today. Type C is for Advantage plans. That's where private insurance companies, all the big ones, Kaiser, Permanente, Blue Cross, Blue Shield, Humana, they've all got these plans. And basically, that's where a private insurance company is paid by Medicare to administer your Medicare benefits. Now, I have Kaiser Permanente. I'll tell you my particular story and how I kind of stumbled into this whole situation, did some research, and found out it's something everybody can be doing. So I had a hospitalization in Chiang Mai at Chiang Mai Ram Hospital. I'm involved seeing doctors, x-rays, whatnot. I paid my bill myself, and then I submitted it to my insurance company, Kaiser, because I'm not a full-time expat. I live in Thailand a big chunk of the year, but I return every few months to go to the United States. So I still have a United States base. So I kind of just kept my mouth shut, and I thought, I'm not an idiot. I'm not going to look for trouble. I thought, I'm just going to submit this to Kaiser and see what they do. And they paid it without any question at all. And I thought, wow, that's kind of interesting. So after they paid it, I thought, well, now I can risk calling and ask them about it. You know that old adage, don't ask for permission, just do it and ask for forgiveness after. So I called Kaiser and I said, hey, I'm very happy that you paid my bill. But I actually thought, to be honest, under Medicare, there's no out-of-country coverage. So why did you pay my bill? And they said, as a Kaiser insured, you're covered like all of our Kaiser insured. We don't cover you in a different way because you're covered by Medicare. And I said, well, how long can I be out of the country? And they said, well, under our policies, you can be out of the country for as long as 6 months. You have to return before you leave again. When I asked, how long do I have to be here? They said, there's no information in the policy about that. So I went ahead, I called Medicare. I called a lot of authorities on this. I called many, many carriers, and I'm going to give you a list in a little bit. And I found many of the major carriers are exactly like Kaiser, and they do provide out-of-country coverage. Now, it's only for emergencies, so you can't use this for regular scheduled healthcare. You can't use it for a checkup. And one big disadvantage is you do have to pay for it in advance and then get your reimbursement back. Now, I asked them, I said, hey, I'm based in Thailand, and some hospitals here have actually been known to kind of keep a patient prisoner and not let them go until they pay their bill. And I said, so what if I can't afford to pay my bill? What will Kaiser do then? And they didn't really have an answer for me. They basically said, hey, if that happens in the future, let us know and we'll see what we can do. But I'm just alerting you, that's a potential problem. But still, this is a huge potential benefit for us in traveling around the world. And don't just listen to me. Let me show you to you in writing. This is the Kaiser Permanente Senior Advantage Plan. I found 4 specific areas where worldwide coverage is specifically mentioned for emergency and urgent care. You can find this yourself online. You might be aware there's an alternative to Medicare Advantage. A Medigap or supplement plan would not be as good here. There is a $250 annual deductible. There's only 80% coverage, and there's a $50,000 lifetime cap on benefits. But if you go with the Advantage plan, none of that applies. And most of the Advantage plans, especially the HMOs like Kaiser Permanente, for example, there's either no copay and no deductible, or it's a very small one. So for all these reasons, the Advantage plans really seem to be the way to go. Your comments on this subject are really important. I always think of us as a community helping each other. So if you have any experience in this at all, please leave a specific message below with details. If you've done this and it worked for you, tell us the carrier that you used and the circumstances. If you had a problem, same thing. Tell us what the circumstances are and which provider you used so we can all benefit from your experience. Let's all help each other. Now, I can't pretend this is going to be for everybody. I don't think this is going to work for someone that's a full-time expat and doesn't have any U.S. ties. I mean, you really need a U.S. address or something you can at least legitimately use as a U.S. address. But it should work for someone like myself and like a lot of expats that are not 100% expat. We go and live in Thailand for 4 or 5 months. We come back to the United States for a couple of months and we go back, or maybe instead of Thailand, we go to Mexico or Europe, whatever it might be. But in any of those cases, under this scenario, we should be covered under the Medicare Advantage plans. So I'm not saying don't get health insurance, whether you're an expat in Thailand or another country. Maybe you're a full-time expat and this option I'm giving you won't help you. Or maybe you need health insurance for your visa, or maybe you just want extra insurance. If so, I did a video just a few months ago regarding health insurance in Thailand. I'm really happy with the fact that it's the most viewed video on the subject of Thailand health insurance on YouTube. So you might want to check that out. I'll leave a link at the end, but it's incredibly detailed. I literally walk you through individual policies for multiple carriers and talk about the pros and cons and how to find the best deal on your policy, and some things to really look out for, because sometimes they're not really very straightforward. For those of you that regularly watch this channel, you know that usually I do videos with my YouTubing partner and my girlfriend, Joy, who's not with me right now, but she did tell me that she's got something very important to contribute. Joy? For those of you that don't speak the language of dance like I do, what the 3 joys were telling us was that it's triply important for you to look into your healthcare benefits before you make any kind of a change. Now, if you think this might be for you, let me tell you the companies that I found that offer this benefit. And I'll even put on the screen the amount of time that their policies indicate that they will allow you to be out of the United States. There's Kaiser Permanente, which is up to 6 months. There's Blue Cross Blue Shield Anthem, that group, also up to 6 months. Aetna, which is actually up to a year. That's the Aetna Medicare Core Plan PPO, but they do ask you to notify them if you're going to be gone more than 6 months. Humana actually doesn't state a time limit at all. And United Healthcare, which works with AARP, which also has no stated time limit. I'll put on the screen so you can pause it, and I'll also put actual links in the description, the websites for all of these insurance companies, as well as their phone numbers. And none of these are affiliate links. These aren't something where I get paid by you clicking them. These are just the regular website links that you'd use as if you found them on your own. If you've already got a Medicare plan or a Medigap plan or even an Advantage plan that does not offer you this international travel or emergency care benefit, you can actually switch. There's an open enrollment period from October 15th to December 7th. And if you sign up within that period, your new plan will be effective January 1st. So I can't guarantee that any of these plans are going to be right for you. Everybody's situation is different. And your home state, whether you're in California or Mississippi, whatever it might be, each state might have different offerings. And within a state, each company might have slightly different offerings. But all the companies I listed seem to offer this option nationally. But what's really important is don't rely on just what I'm telling you. I'm not a Medicare professional. You need to call these companies. You need to ask really specific questions and make sure that it will work for you. All right, that wraps up this video. As always, I do my best for you to give you information that might be helpful. I really appreciate a like to this video, subscribe. Most important is on this particular video is sharing it. If you know someone that travels a lot, if you know someone that lives overseas sometimes, please share this. Just clink, share, click, clink. Let me try again. Click below where it says share, and it'll give you options. You can either share it directly, you could post it on your Facebook page, you can send it direct by message, by WhatsApp, or you can just copy the link and put it in an email. But I hope you share this with someone that might help. All right, until I see you guys again, safe travel.